Let's take a look at the Garmin Astro 900. So this unit is designed for folks that are running dogs in Canada or folks that are running in the US and they have interference problems. Those are really the only two situations for this. If you don't have those situations, I cannot recommend this product to you. It doesn't get the kind of range that we're used to, and so there's really no benefit for you. Let's take a look at the Garmin Astro 900, the newest version of dog tracking only from Garmin, different from anything else that we've had in the Garmin Astro ALPHA line in that it works off of a different frequency. The reason the Astro 900 was designed was to make a product that was legal in both the US and Canada. Everything else that Garmin has made up to this point, Astros 220, 320, 430, and the ALPHA 100 are not legal to use in Canada. So Garmin wanted to make a product that we could sell in Canada that was legal to use. Now, it's on the 900 megahertz frequency, so it's also legal to use in the United States. But there are a lot of things about it that you need to know if you're thinking about getting one of these devices. It is exactly the same in operation and function as the Astro 430. If you've worked with a 430 or any of the previous Astro models, you're going to know how to use this unit because the setup is almost identical as far as how the menus work, and the functionality of the product is identical to what we've had up to this point. The thing you've got to know though is that because it works on a different frequency, this product is not compatible with anything else that Garmin has made to this point. If you own a 430 and have T5 collars and you're like, hey, I want to get this so I can use it when I'm in Canada, it's not going to work as far as tracking both the collars that you currently have and the new system. The Astro 900 will only track the T9 collars. They look very similar to the T5 collars, which work on the MURS-based frequency, but a couple of just slight differences. The biggest thing you'll notice is the antenna is shorter. Everything else on it looks pretty much the same. The Handheld has a couple of things. It has the name Astro 900 across the top, and it also uses an orange antenna. And that's an important thing to note. You don't want to use this antenna on anything else. It's not going to work well with the other systems. If you're running in Canada and you want a system that's legal, this is a good way to go. But there's a couple of things that you do need to know. The 900 megahertz frequency is not quite as powerful as the MURS-based, and by that I mean you're not going to get the range from the 900 that you would normally get from an Astro 430 with a T5 collar. My test so far, if you want me to give you a number, I'm going to say it's about 75% of a regular Garmin MURS-based system. The other thing about it that is different is that when you use a car top antenna with this system, you will get no increased range. With a MURS-based system, you can get an extended antenna, you can get a car top antenna, and you can push that range out a good bit compared to the Handheld and the regular antennas that come with it. But you can't do that with the 900 megahertz frequency. Another thing you've got to notice too is if you have a MURS-based car top antenna, it's not going to work well with this. Let's talk about some of the features of the Astro 900. The Astro 900 is a dog tracking only system. It does not have any sort of correction, e-collar, vibration, anything. It's tracking only. It will track up to 20 dogs from one handheld using additional T9 collars. Got to make sure you go with the T9 collars. System comes with both a compass page and a map page. Compass page tells you where the dog is in relationship to you as far as he's north of you, he's south of you. Also tells you distance. You also have the option of using a map page. The map page is going to show both you and your dog on the map. It'll show multiple dogs on the map at the same time. It'll also show, it's what Garmin calls a base map, and it's going to have certain features. It's going to have roads, but it is not topo or bird's eye. Both of those features can be added to this system using chip cards, or you can download the bird's eye feature. That's a subscription feature that gives you satellite images. That's not included with the Astro 900 features that you can add to it. The Astro 900 handheld works off of several different battery types. You can use standard AA alkaline batteries, you can use AA lithium batteries, or you can use AA rechargeable batteries. You can also use the rechargeable pack that Garmin sells. Using that allows you to charge the batteries in the handheld. And so, so it depends on how much you're using it. I like the rechargeable pack that Garmin sells, and I've been using that for a while and been pretty happy with the performance on that. If you just use standard AA batteries, typically going to get about a day out of them, and you have to replace them. So over time, rechargeable batteries are a better way to go with this handheld. The T9 collar is a rechargeable battery. Runtime is going to depend on your update rate. Update rate is how often the collar communicates with the handheld. So typically, I recommend that folks run it in a 2.5-second update. That's going to give you, with the large collar, around 25 hours of runtime. If you want longer runtime than that, then you can increase your update rate, and basically what that does is it changes the time that the collar communicates with the handheld. You have several options. You've got 5 seconds, you've got 10 seconds, you've got a 30-second option, and you've also got a 2-minute option. That's going to increase your battery life, but what it does is it doesn't give you as much information, so you're not going to know where your dog is quite as accurately, but it will extend the battery life of the collar. So that's one of those things you just kind of have to depend on what you like. I prefer the 2.5-second update. I want to know where my dog is all the time, and I want the most current information. And so it's going to work on your collar, but you know, I recommend that you charge them every night anyway. So 2.5-second update rate for somebody that's running a long day, you're easily going to get that out of it. I don't recommend that you push it more than that. On the second day, I want that fresh battery. So if I'm running today and I'm running tomorrow, at the end of today, I'm going to charge my collar no matter my update rate. This product is legal in both the U.S. and Canada. So if you're somebody that hunts across the border on a regular basis and you want something that works in both situations, this is a way to go. There are a lot of things about this system that I'm talking about as far as there being less than what we currently have. So there's only a few situations that I'm going to recommend where a U.S. consumer would be better served to go with an Astro 900 over a 430 or an Alpha 100. The situations are where you're hunting or running dogs in competition where there are an enormous number of other dogs. A lot of folks that are doing some pen competitions, or they're hunting in areas, or they're hundreds of dogs and there are hundreds of systems being run in the same area. They're going to get an enormous amount of interference. The downside of the MURS system is that it only has so many channels that the systems can work on. And so if there are 50 to 100 dogs in the same area or more, you're going to get a constant interference from other systems that are running on the same channel. This is one way to bypass that completely. This system will not interfere with the thousands and thousands and thousands of other systems that are out there that are running on the MURS-based system. So you can run this interference-free right in the middle of as many Astros and Alphas as you want, and it's not going to be a problem. The other thing that's nice about this system is that the 900 megahertz allows Garmin to have more channels to work with, so you can have substantially more Astro 900 units in the same area without having any sort of interference. So that's the biggest advantage from an American consumer. But I do want to point out there are not a lot of situations where that's going to happen. And so there's not a lot of reasons for an American consumer to buy this unless they're in those situations, if they're having interference problems or if they're hunting in both the US and Canada. Now, if you run in Canada and you want a system that is legal, this is the way to go. So the Astro 900 is not compatible with MURS-based antennas that Garmin makes, so you got to make sure that you're getting the right kind of antennas. There's a car top antenna that works with it. There's not a lot of extended, there's no longer antennas that you can attach to this with the exception of the car top, and the reason for that is that they're not going to improve your performance. I would like to note that the Astro 900 is compatible with the FENIX watches and the Drive Track units. So this unit is designed for folks that are running dogs in Canada or folks that are running in the US and they have interference problems. Those are really the only two situations for this. If you don't have those situations, I cannot recommend this product to you. It doesn't get the kind of range that we're used to, and so there's really no benefit for you.